First kill.
It's easy to write X-Blades off. A brutal hack and slash by a company no one really knows of? Why bother when we already have Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden filling that need with an obviously much larger financial backing behind them? It's usually not a good sign when one of the selling points is apparently a scantily clad anime chick gracing the cover either. When I first turned on X-Blades, this is what struck me. The color scheme. And no, I do not mean the clashing tones between the main character's ass and the little strip of cloth that just barely manages to grace the middle of it. Here's what I'm saying. Despite the overall basic cartoonish look the character models and background carry, it was refreshing. The dungeons you're exploring do not carry the same amount of artistic detail of, say, a Gears title, but then it doesn't need to. There's a certain beauty to the game's simplicity. I enjoy checking out each new area despite there being only a small fundamental difference between each location. I really have no problems with the main character either. Sexual exploitation or not, it's nice not having to look at an over-muscular meathead at least every once in a while. Hack and slash games have been known for their brutal difficulty in these recent years, but thankfully, X-Blades does not follow that trend. Not that I have anything against such difficult games, and I do enjoy them myself, but it's nice to finally see a game that's not following that painfully hard trend just because it happens to share the same genre. Instead, X-Blades is fun and lightning fast. The game features a much more prominent arcade flair than what we typically see. It reminded me a lot of the old classic Ninja Turtles and Final Fight style games. There are a ton of enemies and you need to slash through them all. There are boss fights in which sometimes you can successfully just brute force your way through rather than follow a gimmick every single time. It's mindless, fun hack and slash. Some may find the gameplay to be a little too simple. There's not a lot of elegance that goes into stringing combos together, and you'll be doing a lot of hammering away on the X button. The game moves at such a fast pace though that it refrains from feeling too sluggish, and it's that which keeps it from being just another crappy Genji Days of the Blade or what have you. You do have to appreciate arcade quick gameplay in order to enjoy this though. But still, the various special moves and magical abilities are still fun to unlock as you play along. And while I did mention that you could fight against bosses by sometimes just brute forcing your way through, you can still learn their patterns, and it encourages you to experiment to see what works best. There's a small part of me deep down, you know, that critical game reviewer side of me, that's saying to rate this game lower as it's not any sort of deep experience. The cast and storyline is pretty much more or less forgettable cartoony nonsense, and the short cutscene sequences could have been directed a little better. I'm sure this game will be forgotten quickly because it ultimately is a rather casual experience with a main character in a thong. But then, as damned as I may be, I still had a lot of fun playing this. I had a lot of fun executing the hell out of the demonic cesspool that surrounded me and blazing through areas. The rough around the edges feel had a certain charm that I just could jive with. As soon as I beat the game, I found myself wanting to play again. If you don't like hack and slash, you'll no doubt find the game repetitive. If you want each battle to be stuffed with skill and grace as you barely manage to squeeze by with the skin of your teeth, you probably won't like this, as it doesn't really get any sort of difficult until near the end. But then, if you want simple and fun with a game that just doesn't look like a mere replica of everything else, I recommend checking this one out. It's a very good, slightly lower budget game. X-Blades for the Xbox 360 receives an 8 out of 10.